What is your impression of black culture? Can you name any black role models? How do you think this representation affects our own thoughts of such people?
It's very much underrepresented. There's a lot around, I don't know, family values, but there's also the whole gangster thing as well that comes into it, and violence.
I think it tends to be a little bit slapstick and comedian.
The little that we do see gives people a false representation of what black culture is all about.
My impression is that it's always limited.
I think it's quite mixed. I think it depends who's producing it and who's involved in that, and how far black people are involved in that, how far whoever makes it is sensitive to showing people as people.
There are definitely not enough role models, and I don't think we can underestimate that. I remember when I was younger, and we'd have this situation where you'd see a black person on television and you'd run and sit down and you would just sit and watch the television.
I say Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, Samuel L. Jackson.
Well, if you look at kind of Hollywood, there's Will Smith, Denzel Washington, Wesley Snipes, even though he evaded tax.
I see people like Skepta doing a lovely job. I see Big Nasty. Big Nasty is one of my favorite UK artists. They get a job for themselves. A place where no job, but they made a job. Those are my role models.
There's a lot of kind of anti-role models, people who would be considered a bad boy in the media, who maybe young people shouldn't look up to and aspire to be like.
I think the problem is not having enough role models, is that they can't see themselves in that space. It's as simple as that.
But you don't get those guys being there as often as you'd want to see them.
The average white person comes from a stance of inclusion. We come from a stance of exclusion. So we talk about what we can't see.
If you give a black child, 3 different coloured dolls, which one do they identify with? And they'd identify with the white one because that's what was around them. It's a very similar thing with the role models. If you don't see a black airline pilot, you don't believe that black people fly planes.
I think everyone is important to see on media because we're all humans. We've got brought in this world, all of us together. So I don't know why they shouldn't be in the media just as normal people.